Welcome to this week's Garage Devotional. I'm Ted. I pastor Connect Church in Ventura. And today we're in our series still of Coffee Time with Solomon. We're in part 11. And we're going to be looking at Proverbs 6 through 16. And I'm going to read that first and then we'll dig in. It says this: there are 6 things the Lord hates, 7 that are detestable to him: haughty eyes and lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, a false witness who pours out lies, and a person who stirs up conflict in the community. These characteristics have been around since the early days of creation. Solomon, though, chooses to make a list here of these 7 things that have the potential to produce the greatest pain, the greatest heartache, the greatest corruption, and the greatest evil than more than any other things that people might apply themselves in. We see these in other parts of Proverbs, but in chapter 6, it's the only place we have a list combining these 7 things that Jesus hates. Hate is a harsh word. I understand it. It's a hard word, but this word describes how Jesus sees these actions. They have the potential to destroy love, destroy community, and ultimately destroy decency and humanity. That's why he uses the harsh terms. These 7 things are the Armageddon of our souls. We need to understand this. It's the Armageddon of our souls. It will destroy us if we participate in these 7 things. Let's look at it. We're going to look at the first 3 right now. Have you ever met someone who is arrogant? The focus here on these first 3 things is arrogance. Pride that is puffed up, and arrogance that results in hurting others. Taking from others what is not theirs. That's what the prideful and the arrogant do. They see others as tools for their own profit. They believe that they're better than everyone else. They lie to advance their wickedness. There's a difference between healthy pride of work well done, of accomplishments that we've had, of pride in others, and the list could go on that. There's a difference between that and the pride or the arrogance that Solomon is talking about here. This road will always lead to destroying innocent people who trusted in those who were arrogant, to those who puffed themselves up and made themselves look greater than they are. It also may result in financial disaster in people's lives, or emotional brokenness, or even death. Let's look at the next 2, which are very similar to the ones that we just looked at. This shows us how so many people's hearts and actions can be corrupted to desire evil. And we have to watch that carnal nature in our life. Lying is a heart issue. Lying leads us down that road to corruption. We're to guard our hearts so they cannot be corrupted, resulting in becoming evil. We are to guard them. This is an everyday choice. Jesus tells us to choose the right path that leads to eternal life, that produces a pure heart and a good heart. We are to have feet that are quick to rush toward good and run away from evil. We are to make choices to keep us on the right path. We are to make choices to put around us the right company. In other words, good company produces good morals. Bad company produces corrupt morals. The 6th thing that we're going to look at here, the 6th one that he gives us, is how Jesus hates a false witness or a person that lies. This one has a courtroom setting to it. It describes those who are false witnesses in court, which ultimately results in destruction of our legal system because of the corruption that's in it. And he tells us that we are not to be false witnesses, even in a court and on our job, in our schools, wherever we are. We should not be a false witness. We should always be truthful and speak the truth. The last one, the 7th one that Solomon emphasizes here to be the worst one than the others, is this: intentionally stirring up conflict or discord in community. It destroys community. When you stir up conflict and discord, community is destroyed, homes are destroyed, states are destroyed, nations are destroyed, faith is destroyed. So we need to not affiliate with those who are stirring up conflict. And those conflicts are coming all over the place these days. Says this for us, that this, humble yourselves, the word says, humble yourself before the Lord and he will exalt you. That's James chapter 4, verse 10. When we humble ourselves, then we can influence others. Then we could lead others. Then we could bless others. When we walk in humility, we find peace, and we can help others in our community. We can help others in our own homes and on our jobs and in our churches. The greatest leaders, the greatest mothers, the greatest fathers, the greatest sons, and you could go on with that, and different people, are those who are humble and can admit their faults and weaknesses. Let's learn from this list not to do these 7 things, but to do the opposite of them. Lord bless you. We'll see you next week.